Lakers against 2010. Yeah, make it a day with us. The second third phase, which is about to take place in Lagos. Big volleyball tour. If you're just passing by, these warriors have been happening for the past 6 days. Wow! 12-5. Beach volleyball. We have some people that you cannot do without them. Those are the pioneers. Those are the people who start beach volleyball to the limelight in Nigeria. We cannot do without calling the names. Coach Kayode. Presently, he is the makes us proud in the games of beach volleyball. Shakarao, who is not here, present. The lives of Hillary. The lives of Abayomi. Beach players here present. Here we call their names. Go there, you will see them. The medical teams were too much. Back to this game. Medical best in the match. Teams here present. All teams, please be in your jerseys. All teams. You know, as I talk, for this volleyball we dey play, we get veterans. Get people who don't play. It's being presented by Sheba. Mama. All teams, please be in your jerseys. All teams.
Welcome on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe to let you have a feel of some beach volleyball there, where Nigerian Volleyball Federation actually they organized in Abuja, and it was a fantastic one because it was a tour across Nigeria, Yola, Adamawa State, Abuja, and all that. Well, good one. At least Nigerian volleyballers will have a feel of the day there. Let's start with stories in the world of sport, but before we give you activities for this weekend, we look at what happened during the week. The one we call review. We actually review all the activities that happened during the week, picking those very important ones. We start with, well, now this time around, volleyball also, where Nigerian ladies right now, they qualify for the Under-19 World Championship coming from the FIVB, Federation of International Volleyball Federation. They are talking about inviting Nigeria Under-19 girls to the competition that will be coming up in Croatia and also in Hungary. Well, Cameroon and Egypt actually came first and second, but Nigeria right now was able to get that particular note because they added one more slot for Africa, and that's a good one there, giving Nigeria the opportunity to showcase their talent. Talking about the Under-19, who will be fighting for honors in Croatia and also in Hungary. Congratulations to Nigeria there, and we believe that our ladies will do us proud by the time they get to those countries. Now, still talking about the week, let's talk about table tennis. World Table Tennis actually released the new ranking for table tennis players, where we have Aruna Quadri, Bello, retain position, that's in world ranking. They are talking about Nigerians who actually are participating in this sport called table tennis. We have Aruna Quadri and also the likes of Taiwo Mati. Let's look at the ranking for men and also for women, WTT ranking. Let's start with the men now. Quadri Aruna actually is #1 in Africa and 14th in the world. Omar Assar is 24th in the world and also second in Egypt. Ahmed Saleh is third. You have is 75th in the world. You have Ibrahima Dior of Senegal, Mehdi Belosa of Algeria, Taiwo Mati of Nigeria coming far in 99th position in the world, but it's number 6 in Africa. And for the women's ranking, we look at Dina Meshref of Egypt, Hannah Goda, Miriam Al-Hodabi, Yusra Helmi, all coming first to fourth in Africa. And you have Fatima Bello, number 5th in Africa and coming 64th in the world when it comes to women ranking in the world of table tennis, where we are giving you all the new rankings coming from the world table tennis there, as we're able to rank Nigerians and other table tennis players in Africa. Well, good one for Dina Meshref, topping in Africa, and also Aruna Quadri, 14th in the world, formerly 10th, but now he's 14th, but first in Africa. During the week also, the Nigerian referees, yes, about 29 of them were actually given FIFA badges at the NFF office in Abuja. And quickly, let's look at those 29 Nigerians who are right now being offered the opportunity to be 2023 FIFA badges referees. We have Ogabo Joseph, Nuruddin Abubakar, Kodra Debimpe, Kazim Abdusalam, Abdullahi Abubakar, Bashir Saliu, Grima Muhammad. Assistant referee, you have Samuel Padu Takam, Usman Abdulmajid, Efosa Celestine, Hope Igor, Tajiri Digbori, you have Muhammad Yakubu and Tijani Ahmad. For big soccer referees, Jalili Ogumoyowa, Fawole Olawale, Olayinka Olajide, Rabiu Ahmad. Among those big soccer referees, you have futsal referees now, Bello Al-Hassan, Musa Davo, Paul Umuago and Uha Undubusi. In the women category, FIFA women referee now, Ndidi Patience, Hannah Eliago, Olufemelayo Alaba, and Yemisi Akitoye made that cut. You have FIFA women assistant referee from Nigeria, Umfon Akpan, Beauty Terra, and you have Abibat Yusuf there among those listed. 29 of them actually got that FIFA badge, and at least a nice one for the fact that they were able to get recognized to be given those badges. Hopefully they will actually do well while officiating games in any category of event that has to do with FIFA or even CAF. Good one there. Still talking about the week activities in the world of sport. Well, the match that actually involved Bayelsa United in Yenagua caused a lot of issues where a fan of Bayelsa United attacked a match official, and from there IMC, Interim Management Committee, quickly move into action, actually allowing their hammer to fall on Bayelsa United and also El Kanemi Warriors, who actually won concerning their stadium. But now, looking at what happened during the week, Bayelsa United right now, they'll be facing some ruling from talking about IMC. IMC right now, looking at the fact that they fined them 1,500,000 naira for failure to ensure the restriction of access by unauthorized person to all restricted areas. And they also fined them 250,000 naira being compensatory payment to the assaulted assistant referee too, Ojele Ebenezer. Well, the club also has been ordered to ensure the immediate prosecution of one Joseph Sidoha, aka One Man Riot, for carrying out the assault on the match official and funding the legal and compliance department of the MPFL with verifiable evidence of the prosecution. While still talking about the ruling, they also said Joseph Sidoha has been banned for a period of 1 year from all MPFL related activities, and Samson Siasi Asidam has been closed indefinitely to fans. So it means they'll be playing with the behind closed doors until adequate and verifiable security measures, including written guarantees to the MPFL to prosecute any person found to create disturbances in the course of your home matches are put in place. Well, sending that particular message to Bayelsa United. Talking about the El Kanemi Warriors too, they had their own. They were also sanctioned for the fact that the stadium they are using right now they are playing pitch and security breach investigation, reminding the club of an earlier correspondence on an ongoing review of the provisional approval granted for El Kanemi Stadium. Well, from the way it is, the IMC or the club will prepare to relocate to an alternate ground, as recent assessment of the playing pitch shows that the present condition is still far from ideal. So it means they are expecting them to take action. They are therefore expected to take more expedient steps to improve the quality of the playing pitch, and also to let the league secretariat to get to know their preferred alternate ground in the interim, to act as a safeguard in the event that you are unable to carry out adequate improvement to the playing pitch of El Kanemi Stadium. IMC informed El Kanemi that it has commenced investigation into report of your most recent home game, and pending the outcome of that investigation, you are hereby ordered to play your future home games strictly under closed door. Those are the news, the rulings coming from IMC Interim Management Committee to El Kanemi Warriors and also to Bayelsa United for the fact that they allow one of their fans to at least molest a particular match official there. Now, from there, we also look at MPFL Match Day 5 roundup, where Bende Insurance picked first win. We look at that particular story there. Well, from the way it is, Match Day 5 now, that has to do with midweek play on Wednesday. El Kanemi lost at home against Bende Insurance. Deputy Echeta scoring. You have Gombe Kwara United winning their matches 2-1 in those games. You have Nasarawa United losing against Plateau United in Kaduna after relocating from Jos. And you have Remo Stars. They pipped Eyimba by a lone goal score by Samuel Anakwe in that particular encounter. Well, giving you update concerning Match Day 5 update result there. Let's look at Group A. As after they played the match, we have the table as Bende Insurance are still leading with 15 points after winning the 5 matches they play. Remo Stars are trailing. They have 12 points. You look at Nasarawa United, they just have 1 point. And you have Kwara United, Shooting Stars, Gombe in the middle of the park there, Plateau, Aqua, Eyimba are standing tall. And you look at Group B, fixtures are also rather results that was actually played, matches played during the week. Let's look at Group B midweek matches that was also played. Abia Warriors peeled Niger Tornadoes by a lone goal. Bele Dowu to the rescue. Bayelsa United shared his fight against Doma United. Rangers defeated Dakada to get their first win in the MPFL for this season. Lobby Stars 1-0 against Sunshine Stars. Joseph Atule penalty. You have Rivers United 2-0 against Wiki Torres. Ebubeduru actually got a brace in that particular game. Giving you update there in midweek result of Group B. And in Group B still, we look at the table. Rivers United are leading with 13 points. Right now, we have Lobby second with 12 points. Abia Warriors, Niger Tornadoes. You have Sunshine, Doma, Enugu Rangers, Bayelsa. You have Dakada, and you have Wiki Torres of Bauchi just having 1 point there. Just to give you an update of what happened during the week as we are actually reviewing activities in the world of sport. We also look at, the January transfer window also closed during the week, actually January 31st. And just let you have a feel of what happened in those transfer windows. Let's look at the biggest transfers for January window. We have about 6 of them. Enzo Fernandez actually got £107 million deal from Chelsea to from Benfica to Chelsea. I beg your pardon there. Enzo really has moved right now to join the Blues there. Mikel Omodu also, it's £9 million from Shakhtar Donetsk to Chelsea. Anthony Gordon for the £5 million from Everton to Newcastle. Cody Gakpo for between 35 to 44, PSV Eindhoven to Liverpool. Leandro Trossard from Brighton for 21 million plus add-ons to Arsenal. Jacob Kiwior from Spezia for 20 million euros, that's 17.6 million pounds to Arsenal. Giving you updates of the transfer window, biggest transfer of January transfer window. While we look at that, let's look at Chelsea. Chelsea, they were the big spenders. They got about a lot of players there. Noni Madueke, Mikel Modric, David Datro, Fofana, Audrey Santos, Bernat Badiashile. You have Malo Gusto, Joao Felix on loan. You have Enzo Fernandez topping, at least capping it all there. A lot of money that they spent, almost £300 million actually spent by Chelsea. And the deadline day transfer deals, a lot of them, but we just pick few for you to have a feel of the deadline days. Paulo Nuachu was able to move from Genk to Southampton, undisclosed fee, although 3.5 years deal there. Kamaldeen Suleimana from Reims to Southampton also, £22 million for the Ghanaian player. Marcel Sabitzer, Bayern to Manchester United on loan. Keylor Navas, a goalkeeper, PSG to Nottingham Forest, also on loan. Jonjo Shelvey, Newcastle to Nottingham Forest, undisclosed. Pedro Porro moved from Sporting to Tottenham Hotspur, loan with obligation to buy for £40 million. Albert Sambi Lokonga, the young man that right now pitched his tent with the Eagles. Crystal Palace from Arsenal on loan. Felipe from Atletico Madrid, leaving Wanda Metropolitano to Nottingham Forest now, undisclosed. And you have another player, Hamed Traore from Sassuolo to Bournemouth, who actually moved on loan with obligation to also buy. And you have Jorginho switching from Chelsea to Arsenal, although still in the city of London for £12 million. Just giving you update concerning all that happened during the week, giving you all those. You have Enzo Fernandez there, the man that was able to play, although for Chelsea, and although that match, we'll be talking about it. But right now, a lot of money. Anthony Gordon there. You look at him from Everton. He has actually moved to Newcastle United. Just to let you have a feel of those activities in the world of transfer. Hector Bellerin also moved. Deadline day transfer. A lot of them anyway. Just giving you updates as we review all the activities. Sabitzer also moved to Manchester United from Bayern. More of this, a lot of transfer that happened that day. Not forgetting some Nigerians that were able to do it, like Tolu Arokodare, who actually replaced Paul Onuachu in Genk, coming from Amiens from France. Well, good one for all the transfer that happened. Just giving you update there. Now we're going on a short break to let you have a feel of what happened between Nigeria, Flying Eagles, that is under 20, and Junior Shipolopolo of Zambia. It was a 6-goal thriller, 4-2, Nigeria won at the MQ Abiola Stadium. We have this for you.
Chipolo Polo, despite having lost by 4-2 scoreline. We feel we still have a long way to go, but then the boys are blending well.
The most important target is first of all for us to qualify for the World Cup. So winning the trophy, or whatever trophy comes ahead, I hope the winning is just a bonus. But our primary assignment is to go and qualify for the World Cup. And that is when Nigeria will be happy, because the more we qualify for the World Cup, the more players will get space to play Europe.
Well, good one there. Nigeria defeating Zambia. Junior Chipolopolo versus Flying Eagles on the 20 team. They will be going to Egypt for AFCON, and the two teams really fine-tuning themselves there. Zambia right now will be going to Senegal to play in a friendly, while Nigeria will be moving to Morocco, where they'll be having their final camp ahead of the Under-17 Nations Cup coming up in Egypt. Right now, we talk about the MPFL. Let's look at the preview of the week. Matches that will be played. Let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League, Group A and B. Look at those matches. Bende Insurance will be playing today against Gombe United at 4 p.m. That match will be coming up in Benin City. Eyimba, El Kanem, Aqua, Reno, Class United, Kwara United, and have East South Nasarawa United. And if you look at Group B, let's look at the way the match is going to be there. We have Dakada versus Abia Warriors, Doma United, Rivers United, Lobi, Niger Nado, Sunshine Stars, Bayelsa, Wiki Tories, and Enugu Rangers. And I have in the studio Yusuf and Kogu. Let's talk some sports, Yusuf.
Always a pleasure to be here talking sports.
Good one. You just saw there the MPFL, although I know you are itching to talk about the Flying Eagles.
Yeah, from there, it's a very good performance from them, looking at the quality of players that we have and then the quality of display that we saw against the Gambians, and the Zambians, I mean. I think this will fine-tune them, like you said in the introduction. They are also moving to Morocco for their final campaign before the tournament in Egypt. So I think, and the coach rightly said, his target is to qualify for the World Cup, which I think is very, very important, because before you qualify for the World Cup, I think we have 4 representatives from Africa. You have to make the semi-final. So for you to get to the World Cup, I think with the quality of display that we saw against the Gambia, I think the boys are actually good to go.
It seems you love Gambia. You keep calling
the Zambians.
Okay, let's flip it to the MPFL that we actually talk about. Talking about MPFL matches there, it's going to be a big one. We have Bende Insurance. Though they will play their own today, the rest will be Sunday. But top matches in this one.
Yeah, I think Bende Insurance, it doesn't matter where the game is played. They've won 5 of their games, and they are home against today against not really so good Gombe United. I think it's going to be a walk in the park for them for this match. So for Eyimba FC, one of the Nigerian famous football club, I don't think they are doing so well. We expect them to do more, but I hope again they actually make it to that a stage where they can actually try to qualify for the continental competition where they're actually meant to be. But I'm worried about Nasarawa United and the ultimatum given to their coach. I think this is going to be their last match.
No, they say after this.
After this, maybe three more games. They lost their last game. They played the last one before the last. They played a draw and they lost the last one. So against Shooting Stars away from home, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them. They are against the Oluyole Warriors, so it's going to be a very difficult one for them.
Well, from the way it is, let's just see if Nasarawa could actually get to maybe a draw or even win away. Who says they can win? Anything can happen in the world of sport. Let's switch to Group B. We quickly look at matches there that we played earlier. Enugu Rangers, they won their last match, the first for the MPFL. They were playing against Wiki Tories, who are they have just a point right now. They are also yet to win. From the way it is, Wiki Tories will be hoping that they can do better against Enugu Rangers.
Yeah, I think they can actually do better against Enugu Rangers, considering the fact that even the Rangers, they are struggling. They are also struggling. They just won their first game in 5 games. So, and they are going away to Wiki Tories in Bauchi. I think it's going to be very difficult not for them to crack. Given their pedigree in Nigerian football, I actually think they should be able to get a draw. But again, I see the Bauchi boys peeping them by Elongo.
Well, from the way it is, let's see if, as you actually mentioned, that Wiki Tories will be able to win this game against Enugu Rangers. Well, it's going to be a tough one anyway. Sunshine Stars by your side, United, Lobi, Niger, Doma, you have River, Abia, and Takada. That's a match that we really want to see. Abia, they are really edging, performing well this season. And let's see what they do against Takada. Giving you updates concerning those matches, although one when it comes to MPFL. You never just write any team out. It's an abridged league, and they play 5 out of 18 matches. So day 6 now, and it's really edging home. 3 best clubs from each group will go for Super 6, and they will now fight for 100 million naira. Well, from there, let's quickly give you some update in NBA. Let's leave football. Let's talk about NBA now, where we look at activities that happen in the slam and dunk sport over there in USA. A lot of people actually love basketball. Giving you updates concerning that. We look at the result, how it happened. Well, Boston Celtic in that game. Well, from the way it is, Boston Celtic defeated Phoenix Suns, where you have a player called Chris Paul. Chris Paul was able to score 15 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists for Phoenix Suns in that particular win. You have Brown, 27 points, who actually got 8 rebounds and 3 steals. Houston Rockets, they lost that game by 6 points, 111 against 117. Gordon scoring 28 points for Houston Rockets, and Van Vliet, 32 points. You have Minnesota Timberwolves, 120 against 127. Orlando Magic, who their magic worked for them. They did well against Minnesota Timberwolves, where you have Anthony getting 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and you have Russell, 29 points, 10 rebounds, and also 6 assists. San Antonio Spurs, they fought hard against Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid, who did well for them there, he scored 26 points for Philadelphia 76ers, and you have Branham got 26 points for San Antonio Spurs, but they still lost that game. Utah Jazz 108 against Atlanta Hawks, who actually got 115. Atlanta Hawks player Young getting 27 points, 6 assists, and you have McCann scoring 25 points, 10 rebounds for Utah Jazz. They are giving you update concerning the NBA. The NBA is really going far now. A lot of games here and there, and a lot of people can't wait to see what will be happening 19-20 February for the NBA All-Star game. But right now, we just have to give you the results of actually earlier play today. Just 5 of them for you to have a feel of how the NBA is actually going. Let's give you Sunday. Yes, NBA Sunday fixtures quickly. Let's look at the matches that will be coming up on Sunday, where Oklahoma City Thunder will be playing against Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks will be playing against Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, hosting Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic, the Charlotte Hornets, and Indiana Pacers will be very pacey. Would they do that against Cleveland Cavaliers? Cavaliers right now, they know how to do the business. Can they really at least cave the Indiana Pacers, who are very pacey? Anything can happen when it comes to sport. Well, for basketball, just giving you update concerning that particular those matches that will be coming up on Sunday. We've earlier given you result of Saturday in the NBA. Now let's quickly talk about the Club World Cup. Club World Cup will also be coming up today, and we need to look at those matches that will be coming up. We have 2 African clubs participating. Al Ahly, they won their first match against Auckland City of New Zealand, and now they qualify to play against Seattle Sounders of USA, who qualified from the MLS. And you have Wydad Casablanca, who will be facing Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia. Yusuf, a tough one. 2 matches coming up today. Al Hilal, Wydad Casablanca of Morocco, Al Ahly of Egypt facing Seattle Sounders of USA, Al Hilal of Saudi against Morocco.
Yes, I think it's 2 Africa giants, especially when it comes to this competition, Club World Cup. They've been there before. I think Al Ahly, they've been there before, and I think they have a chance against Seattle Sounders from the USA. And for Wydad Casablanca of Morocco, I think against the Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia, I think it's also going to be a walk in the park for them. So I'm tipping the 2 Africans to actually make it to the semi-final. Let's
see if Yusuf become Octopus Yusuf. Quickly, let's go to the EPL now. Matches for the weekend. A lot of matches will be coming up in the English Premier League. Let's look at fixtures for English Premier League now, as we are moving away from Club World Cup fixtures. Let's look at the fact that a lot of matches will be coming up. You have Everton playing against Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester City. Those games will be up there. Well, we should be looking at those 2 to let you know that Everton versus Arsenal will be coming up earlier.
Yes, that game will be kick off around 1:30 this afternoon against Arsenal, and this is going to be like the first game for the new coach. I just came in to Everton. It's on a rescue mission. I don't know how he can do that against the rampaging Arsenal at home at Goodison Park today against his already depleted Everton team. It's going to be a very difficult one for them, but I think from what we've seen so far of Arsenal, I think it's going to be like, a stroll in the park for them.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, we've been talking about the matches set for this weekend now. Everton, Arsenal, well, big one there. That will be the first match that will be like for the weekend. Aston Villa, Leicester, Southampton, Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth. Liverpool play away to Wolverhampton Wanderers, Newcastle at St. James Park against West Ham. You have Man City, Tottenham. Our focus is on Tottenham, Man City. Let's look at the head-to-head of Tottenham versus Manchester City. That's a big one there. Looking at the fact that they've met several times. 48 games, 25-16. You have goals for Man City 68-67 to Tottenham, 15 clean sheet. Man City 10. I'm still looking at the record of Tottenham versus Manchester City now. A lot of records there between the two clubs. You have still even though it's still the same thing there. Well, let's go to the third one. Looking at the record, a big one between these two clubs. They have always been playing about if you talk about 150 matches they've met. Man City, they've won 58 times, 58 wins also for Tottenham Hotspur, 208 goals scored by Hotspur. You have 231 by Man City. It has been a big one there between the two. But from the way it is, who are you seeing winning this game?
Well, given what you've seen, they've lost this season to Manchester City already, and this is like the return leg now. It's going to be too close to call, given the rivalry between these two teams. You've seen the performance of Tottenham there against the Manchester City. They played 150 games, 58 wins apiece, and 34 draws against the two teams. So it's a very, very, it's going to be a very tight game. But again, Tottenham, I think they are going to have, they're not going to have it easy. I see them missing their manager, Conte, who is not going to be the dugout today. For me, I think with the kind of competition we're actually seeing now and the way Man City is actually trying to catch up with Arsenal, I think they need it more, and I think they'll go for it.
Well, you believe Man City actually Tottenham Hotspur too needs to win anyway, just to balance the equation. Now we're giving you EPL update there, fixtures for the weekend. Now let's quickly go to this particular player. Erling Haaland has been scoring a lot of goals for Manchester City, but he needs to really break a particular record. There's a particular man called Dixie Dean. If you follow EPL, he has done well for himself. He has a record that actually stood for 95 years now, still counting, and Manchester City striker eyes that particular record. The man scored 60 league goals. That is pre-Premier League, and if you look at Dixie Dean, the one they will actually named William Dean. But a lot of work for him to do. That's talking about Erling Haaland. Looking at the fact that if you look at the way it is between the two of them, a tough one is going to be because Erling Haaland needs to work on. Let's look at the head-to-head of these two players. When Dixie Dean was playing, he scored 60 goals in 39 games. Erling Haaland scored 25 goals in 19 games. And if you want to look at it mathematically, you want to tilt towards Dean.
Yes. Yes. I think Haaland needs 20 more games to equal that record. So he still has a chance, but I think it's going to be a very difficult one for him, because given that defenders in the Premier League have actually found him out already. He's gone some games without goals that we've seen. That was unlike Haaland that we know when he came into the Premiership. So then breaking this record is going to be an uphill task, because you know that we have like about 18 games to go in the Premier League and other competition. I really do not see him actually breaking this record.
Well, let's see, maybe, but let's look at some analysis there. Let's look at most of top flight goals in the season in pre-Premier League now. Before Premier League was actually named Premier League. Dixie Dean, the one we're talking about, he played for Everton in 1927 to 1928, 95 years ago. He got 60 goals in 39 games. Tom Warren, Aston Villa, got 49 goals in 38 games in 1930 to 1931. Dixie Dean came back. He scored 45 in 1931-1932 for Everton also in 38 games. Dave Halliday, Sunderland, 43 goals in 42 games. You have Ted Harper, who scored 43. Ted Drake, 42. Vic Watson. Jim Greaves, who scored 41. I don't know how the man did it. They now started coming down after he scored the 60 goals. Now, let's look at most goals in Premier League season. Now, after the pre-Premier League, let's look at the goals now. Andy Cole has been the highest with 34 goals in 40 games in 1993-94. Alan Shearer for Blackburn Rovers, he scored 34 goals in 42 matches, 1994-95. Mohamed Salah, 32 goals, 2017-2018 for Liverpool. Luis Suarez, 31. Ronaldo for Man U, 31 in 34 games. You have Alan Shearer, who actually did well twice, 31-31, 1995-1996, 93-94. Kevin Phillips, Thierry Henry, you have Harry Kane, you have Robin Van Persie in that record. And from the way it is right now, looking at this, it's very sure that Haaland will break this.
Okay, certainly he will break this record. But the most difficult record for him to break is the Dixie Dean record. But this one, I think, is very close to breaking this record. I think if not this season, probably next season. But I actually see him doing it this season. So. So far, he's played 19 games, he scored 25 goals. It's a very good ratio for a striker who just came into the Premiership.
A good one for a striker of his caliber, Erling Haaland, the one they call the robot striker right now, 25 goals in 19 games. Just to give you at least a view of the record he's actually pursuing right now. He wants to get that record of Dixie Dean. He needs to walk a tightrope. Now, from there, let's quickly switch to La Liga, Spanish La Liga. Matches will be up in La Liga. Let's look at the games there as we actually be focusing. Barcelona and Sevilla will also be coming up. A big one there, Barcelona and Sevilla is now topping the table, and Sevilla, well, right now I think they are 12 or 13 on the table. They will be fighting hard to also see how they can upstage Barcelona, but that won't be easy. Elche, Villarreal, Mallorca, Real Madrid. Well, let's focus on Barcelona, Sevilla.
Yeah, Barcelona, Sevilla, I think it's going to be a very difficult one for Sevilla. They've been struggling this season so far. They've let some of their players leave. We have the Danjuma, the Nigerian-born player, has already moved to Tottenham. So I think it's going to be a very difficult one for them this season, for them to,
Danjuma was playing for Villarreal.
So sorry, for Villarreal. I beg your pardon. It's a mix-up somewhere. So for Barcelona, I think it's going to be a game for them to lose. They are topping the league, and I think they want to maintain that momentum going, considering the fact that they have many games coming up, including the round of 16 clash against Manchester United.
Let's see if Barcelona will beat Sevilla to add more woes to that's Real Madrid, because if they win that game, they will add another 3 points, making it back to 8 points, although they are leading with 5 points right now. Now, quickly, let's give you fixtures in the German Bundesliga, French League 1, before we go to Italia Serie A. Giving you updates concerning matches coming up this weekend. German Bundesliga, a big one there. Union Berlin are trailing Bayern. They will be fighting hard to see how they can upstage after it's just a point there. Well, but Wolfsburg will be at home at the Volkswagen Arena to take on Bayern, while Union Berlin play at home against Mainz 05. Quickly, we look at French League 1. PSG will also be fighting hard to see how they can up their game. A lot of matches that will be coming up. But we'll be focusing on Italia and Serie A right now. Inter Milan, AC Milan, they share the same stadium called San Siro. and a big one there. If you look at it analytically, 180 matches overall, 56 draws between the two. Inter, they've won 65 times. AC Milan, the one they call Rossoneri's, they've won 59 times, getting 233 goals. Nerazzurri's Inter, they got 244 goals in 65 wins. And so far, a big one there between the two teams, AC Milan, Rossoneri versus Nerazzurri.
Well, the two teams have played in the same stadium. They share the same stadium. They are like brothers. But the rivalry between them again, when it comes to football, it's not from here
at all.
I remember the famous Ronaldo who played for Inter Milan in those days. He did play for both clubs.
Yeah,
yes.
He played for, actually, yeah, I think, yes, Barcelona, Real.
Yeah, he played for Barcelona, Real Madrid. He played for Inter Milan and AC Milan as well. So he played for, I remember. So I think it's going to be a very difficult one for them. If you look at the performance of the two teams this season, AC Milan, they won the league last season, but again, they're actually trying to catch up because Napoli is like a runaway leader in Italy, Serie A right now, as it is. But again, if you look at the statistics that was displayed earlier on the screen, you could see that the Inter Milan mathematically has an upper hand when it comes to head to head between the two teams. 65 wins, 244 goal scores. 54 draws between the two teams. So it's going to be a very difficult one. But again, if you look at the performance so far this season, the like of Rafael Leao, the Portuguese, and then of course Lautaro Martinez, and what Onana did in the last game, in their last game that they managed to escape by a long goal in the Italian Super Cup. I think I give it to the Inter Milan to see how they can, get a passage against their bitter rival.
But from the way it is, anytime Inter Milan, AC Milan are playing, even though Inter are at home today, but this weekend, it's not something you look at as because they're sharing the same stadium. The fans are boisterous. The stadium is always red and blue. One side will be blue, one side will be red. Exactly. And you see the stadium, even though San Siro has been kind of, maybe I think it needs more expansion. If you look at it, it's always looking smallish. But
well, I think what they need to do now, I think they've shared the one stadium for too long, and I think there should be a space there for one of the club.
Maybe they don't want to share. They want that culture
to remain. Exactly. Maybe that is why. If not, just like Manchester United and Manchester City, who play, who are next door neighbor.
Yeah, but they are not sharing the same stadium.
They are not sharing the same stadium. But what I mean is they are in the same city. They could have actually done that, but they decided to go their separate ways.
So one side is
blue, it's good for business anyway.
It's better for business.
That's why EPL is one of the most competitive and most attractive when it comes to media. But again, sometimes it really doesn't matter who is at home because the two teams are actually at home. So nobody really has an advantage over
it's just for you
anybody,
to play your game.
And then God of Soccer, if God of Soccer is on your side, then you get the 3 points and at what a draw.
Well, let's see what will be happening between those two clubs by the time they file out in their tough match. It was a derby. They call it Derby d'Italia. Well, big one there between Inter Milan and the Rossoneri AC Milan fighting hard. They will be facing themselves. The stadium will be red and blue, and it's going to be a tough one because the two teams share the same stadium. But a big culture there between Inter Milan and AC Milan. And really, the middle of Nigerians follow Italian football. I still remember vividly in the 90s and also 80s how Nigerians began to fall in love with Italians because of AC Milan especially. But right now, let's quickly look at some transfer story before we wrap it up, talking about activities here and there. Victor Osimhen has been doing so well with Napoli, but news of it that Manchester United and PSG will be expected to pay a transfer fee of at least £90 million if they are to sign prolific Napoli and Nigerian forward Victor Osimhen in the summer. Maybe I should invite you to talk about this because
wow,
Osimhen has been fantastic.
Yes, he has been
90 million.
Yes.
That's at least.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. I think you can't take anything away from him. I think he's a very, very young, just 24 years old. And then you look at what he's done so far for his career since that Under-17 World Cup performance. And again, if you look at the transfer fee like this for an African player, I think it's come to show you that the kind of quality that this young man has actually displayed for his club, Napoli. I can remember when he moved to Napoli from Nice, there was a lot of uproar like this is too much for a black player, especially from Africa. So, but again, they're actually reaping that benefit right now. And again, you see clubs like Manchester United United and PSG, coming up with this kind of transfer fee, I think you have to actually, applaud this young man.
But if you had to be asked that, would you prefer him going there?
Yeah, given what he's done so far and the kind of player he is, a player that can fit into any team. I think I would prefer him going to a club like Manchester United.
Meanwhile, somebody suggested that he shouldn't go to Man United for now, or even PSG. He should rather go to 2 clubs. He said Real Madrid and Bayern.
Like I said, he can actually fit into any of these, any club. He's a player. He's just a player that is like a Ronaldo kind of player who can fit into any
squad.
Pattern, any squad at all. His positioning is excellent. He knows positioning. He scored with head. He scored with both leg on all part of his body except the hand. So he's a very good player. And I think giving this kind of transfer fee for an African player, I think he's going to be the most expensive.
It's going to be most expensive. This man should move. Talking about Victor Osimhen. Well, even as it is, £90 million could be at least for him. Well, before we wrap it up, let's talk about Aubameyang. Aubameyang right now, this Gabon striker, sources close to him says he's shocked and disappointed to be left out of Chelsea's Champions League squad, and he's convinced the club want to get rid of him. What a way to go. Well, the same thing happened to him in Barcelona. Aubameyang needs to up his game. Happening to him not so just some months ago, and now it's happening to him at the Blues. Well, Manchester United have agreed a 4-year contract extension with 18-year winger Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho, Argentine, right now has gotten that extension of 4 years, who has been in senior Argentina squad, but right now Garnacho is happy that 4 years has been given him. They have agreed, and right now he will be playing his trade more with Manchester United. Well, and the last one, say Mason Greenwood, who was the charges against him that was dropped during the week, right now is eyeing a move to China to restart his career if United decide to sack him once they complete their own internal investigation. Well, from the way it is, Greenwood is already looking for a way out. If Man United, because news have it that they are already splitted, some are saying they should be called back, some are saying no, let's wait after the investigation, and in fact, they should not allow him to come back. So the young man is considering going to China to play some Chinese Super League there. Well, whatever happens, well, we just hope that we wish him the best there. Giving you updates concerning all the activities in the world of sport. Let the best team win this weekend, and good one for Nigeria. And we just hope that they will do well by the time they get to AFCON on that 17 and also on that 20. We'll be having the 2 coming up soon. Wish them all the best. And to Yusuf Akogu, I want to appreciate you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure being here.
I am Adeniyi Ajisafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Have a splendid weekend. Thanks for watching.